Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be creating a fun fold card for a 5-year-old using the Swan Lake topper from Hunkydory. I got this in a goodie box last year and I thought it was about time I used it. So I'm going to be creating a twisted easel card today and I thought I'd bring you along with me. If you enjoy haul videos, design team videos, if you enjoy the odd tutorial like today, please do make sure you've hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow and reach more people. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. So let's get into the video. So as I said, I'm going to be using a Swan Lake. I'm not sure if this is still available, but there will be loads of topper sets on the Hunkydory website that you could recreate this card with. I've also grabbed out a pink set of, it's just they call it premium card. It's not, it's really quite fine. You wouldn't want to make a card base with this, but this is from Hobbycraft. This is one of the pink packs, so I'm going to use that for mats and layers. I've got some tonic A4 card. It's called Ballet Pink, bizarrely enough, so I thought that would be very suitable for the base. And then for my pretty papers, I thought I'd use this. Now I know this is a Christmas pad and we're in January and we're kind of a bit over Christmas crafting. However, not all of the papers in here scream Christmas, and considering I am doing a ballet card, I thought that page there was perfect. It doesn't shout Christmas, it's just swans. Swan Lake is the ballet, so I thought I would use that for my pretty papers today. But if you don't have all of this, don't worry, you can still follow along and create the card. So I'm just going to grab out a piece of the pink from here. This one isn't that old, so this should still be available on tonic, I would think. Okay, so this one, I'm going to leave it at the long side and we're just going to cut on the short side. So we're going to cut this down to 6 inches on the short side. There we go, and then I'm going to score it at 5 7/8, which is about halfway. Okay, let's just grab my bone folder. Just going to burnish that fold there. So you can see there's a little bit of a gap, but you'd get that even with a card blank, that's fine. So I'm actually going to use the larger section as my top of my card. So what I'm going to do is bring this back in, and I want to score, actually, because this is quite flimsy, I'm just going to fold it over. Normally go point to point. Okay. And now I'm going to reinforce the score line. So it doesn't go all the way to the edge, but that's because it's not true a 6 by 6, but it does go all the way to the points. Just by folding it and putting the line in and then doing it on the score tool of the trimmer really helped get that nice crisp point. And then I've burnished it with my bone folder. So now we're going to re-burnish that line there. And that will now sit like that, and then the topper will go here. So now we need our mats and layers. So the first thing to do is to decide which of these ones I want as a matte layer. So let's grab the pretty paper out as well. Okay, so now I can really compare the colours. I want a light colour, I think. I don't want anything too dark. I'm actually quite liking this one. So let's see what this looks like when you put all of it together. It's quite similar to that. It's just like a shade or two darker. So I quite like that. And then let's just pop this one over the top. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. So that's what I'm going to use. That was dead simple. Right, so I need to cut these down. So the first one I'm going to cut to, get the score tool out of the way, 5 3/4. And we're going to do that by 5 7/8. Let's sit nicely on the top. Yeah, so it sits nicely on the top one, so that will be fine for the top. But for the inside, we're going to have to just cut a slither off, just because that fold line's there. So let's cut another one. Okay, so for the patterned paper, we're going to go a little bit smaller still. So we're going to go 5 3/4. And then this one we're going to go 5 5/8. Okay, that sits on there nicely, nice even border. So we're going to do the same again. So that's already at 5 3/4, so then 5 7/8. There we go. And then we're just going to cut a slither off the very top. There we go. So that will sit nicely like that inside the card. Okay. So let's adhere these all together. Okay, so that's the base done. Now before we glue these ones, we need to cut them. So I'm going to have to cut from the top corner to the bottom corner, because that's the way my fold is going. Just bring the trimmer back in. So just get these in the tracks, each corner. There we go. And then they're going to sit either side, and then we're going to do exactly the same with the pretty paper. So we're going to go from the top left to the bottom right. And then they'll have the nice even border all around. So we will glue those on now. So that's the basis of the card. It's going to sit like that. So let's grab our top set and start decorating. So the one I want to use, I definitely want to use the ballet shoes. And I want Dance and Twirl Birthday Girl because I think that's really nice. And I might come back for something else, maybe like Be Unique, Be Beautiful, Be You, but we'll see how we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go around the edges of the topper and just even up, see the little, where they've come off the topper sheet. So you can just trim those off, make it a little bit more even. Okay, so this is going to go up like this, and that is going to go there. Might be quite nice actually to take this one out. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to put it up against the edge. I'm going to leave a small little border, and then this one is going to go on a foam pad like that, and I think that looks nice. So I just want to put a little bit of glue around the edges. Okay, so I want a nice even border. I want it quite close to the edge though. I think that's fine. Okay. And then grab a foam pad. I'm just going to put the foam pad on the very bottom here. There we go. And then what I've got to do is take the release paper off, line this over the frame. Okay. That's pretty. Okay, now I'm going to put, I think this one an angle there. I might find a really teeny tiny bow just to put on the top. This is going on a foam pad as well. Just put this one on here. Take the release paper off. Just going to put that on a bit of an angle, slightly overlapping the topper. And I need to find a teeny tiny bow. So I had this one in my stash. Now the little girl whose birthday it is, she wears bows in her hair all the time. So I think that's a really nice touch. Whether anyone notices or not, I don't know, but I know I've done it. So we're going to put that on a foam pad as well. Okay, and then we're just going to put this on an angle like that. And because there's silver mirror, I think having a silver bow kind of ties it all in nicely. And the bottom's quite silvery, so I don't think it looks too out of place. I was kind of thinking originally pink, but I like this up. I think that looks nice. So in a minute I am going to die cut a number 5 and put it there. I'm also going to die cut the little girl's name and put it in this space here. But let's grab the, I'm going to use this one. It says Be Unique, Be Beautiful, Be You. I'm going to use that as my stopper. That can actually go straight under the frame. So these foam pads I absolutely love. So Hunkydory often have deals on foam pads where you can get a bundle deal of foam pads and you get loads in there. So you get like the big ones, you get the strips, you get the little ones, and it's for like a set price. So whenever I'm ordering off Hunkydory website, if I want to get over free delivery, that's what goes in my basket, because you can always use foam pads. They are such a staple of any crafter's kit, like, you're always happy to have them. So I just think it gets me over free delivery. It's something I use a lot, so why would I not? There we go. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. So now I need to die cut the little girl's name and the number 5 for the card. I think I'm going to cut it out of the same colour I've done for my mats and layers, that real pale pink. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I've cut all those out, and I've actually cut them out of 2 lots of off-cut card, and I'm going to stick them together to give them a little bit of extra strength, and then I'm going to put them up on foam pads along the bottom. So I'm just going to put you on high speed while I do that. Okay, so that's how we're looking right now. I think it's really pretty. I'm going to add glossy accents to the Harper, and then once that's dry I'll add it to the 5. I've also got to cut mats and layers to put on the bottom, so I'm going to do that really quickly now and put those on. You could obviously put your message in here, but based on the fact my daughter is 4 and only just learning to write, I think she's going to need quite a lot of room. So we're going to do a big mat and layer for the bottom. So we're going to use the same colour as we've used for the mats and layers at the top. We're going to cut this down to 5 3/4 by 5 7/8. That should sit nicely on the bottom. Nope, we're going to need to cut the slither off because the bottom was smaller, wasn't it? So just cut a slither off that. Okay, now that should sit quite nicely. Yep. Then I need some white card. Okay, so this is just really cheap. As you can see, £2. This was from B&M. But for this kind of thing, I actually quite like it. It's smooth, it cuts nicely, it writes on nicely when you're writing your message, so I have no issues with this. I've got 2 pieces, so I only want one. So this one we're going to cut to a 5 3/4 by 5 5/8. And then again, one side we're going to have to cut a slither off of so that it sits nicely inside. Which way? So that side. There we go. So that's going to sit nicely. And I think we're going to stamp a happy birthday in the middle. So to stamp my sentiment, I have my stamping platform, I have VersaFine Claire in Charming Pink, and I have this happy birthday here. This is on Apple Blossom Bouquet and Special Sentiments. So I think I wanted to carry on the pink theme, which is why I've gone for the pink sentiment. So let's just get this how we want it. So the card opens. Oh, and the card goes like that. So we want it like that. Okay, so we're going to stamp the sentiment here. Okay, so all these magnets. Let's get rid of that. Let's place this in there. So I always like to butt my corners up against the side, so if anything moves, it's easy to realign it. Let's grab out my sentiment, which is going to be this one. Place it in the middle. There we go. Now, I'm going to stamp it in the pink ink. Okay, so now we're going to put that on the bottom of the card. Go there. Okay. And now that's all on. I'm going to add the glossy accents just to the half part. I have to do the 5 when I'm finished because it's going to need to dry. Okay, I think that looks really, really pretty, and I think the 5 will look really nice when that is glazed as well. I'm just going to finish it off with a few of these little pearl embellishments, and I'm going to use some glue just to stick them down. So I think we're going to put just going to do the 3 and see how it looks. So that's my card. As I said, I'm going to glaze the 5 when this one's done, and I can lay it down so it doesn't run, but I think that's really, really pretty. So I really hope you have enjoyed my video today. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do hit the subscribe button. It helps my channel grow and reach more people. I hope you will give this a go and you found it fairly easy to follow along too. If you haven't got the exact supplies, just use whatever you do have in your stash. I will leave Hunkydory linked in the description box of this video in case you wanted to see if this set was in stock or not, and if it's not, there are so many topper sets on the website and there's always deals on, so definitely have a look. It's not an affiliate link, it's just to be helpful. Thank you so much for coming to watch my video today. I really appreciate everyone who takes the time out of their day to watch my videos. I will be back soon with more videos, so until next time, thank you so much for watching. Take really good care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.